right, everybody, welcome back to another deep dive with Tech News 10X.
Yeah.
And wow, do we have a lot to cover today?
Yeah. A lot going on in the tech world this week.
So much so, let me give everyone just a quick overview.
Yeah.
We got faster USBs coming out. I think people are going to be really excited about that.
Yeah. Who doesn't love faster transfer speeds, right?
Exactly. And then we've got some intrigue in the supercomputer world, HPE winning a $1 billion AI contract, but not for the supercomputer we thought they were going to.
Color me intrigued, right?
And this is a big one. TikTok might actually be banned in the U.S. tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a big story to follow for sure.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, new AI features coming out in the Samsung Galaxy S25.
A lot of buzz about that.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about it. But then also some concerns about the energy consumption of all this AI stuff.
Yeah, that's an important angle that we need to talk about.
Absolutely. And then in-wheel motors in electric vehicles.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where that technology goes.
Yeah.
So much to cover. Buckle up. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, so first up, let's talk about those new USB 4 SSDs.
Okay.
You sent me this article. It just, I was reading it and I was like,
Yeah.
man, I am so tired of waiting for these big files to transfer.
I know, it's the worst.
Whether it's video editing or large photo libraries, anything, it just takes forever.
I know, I feel like I spend half my life just waiting for files to copy.
Exactly. So this USB 4 SSD, you're saying it's going to really make a difference.
Oh, absolutely. So these new drives, they're going to be able to transfer data at up to 40 gigabits per second.
Wow.
Which is crazy fast. Like, to put that into perspective, that means you could transfer a full 4K movie in just a few seconds.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, that is a complete game changer.
Right.
I mean, we're always talking about these little incremental improvements in technology, but this is a huge jump.
Yeah, this is a real leap forward.
So these are going to replace the USB 3.2 drives completely.
Yeah, basically they're going to be phased out completely.
I'm not going to miss them.
Good riddance.
Okay, so let's talk about something else really exciting. Supercomputers.
Okay.
HPE, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise.
Yeah.
They just won a $1 billion contract.
Wow, $1 billion. That's a lot of money.
To build an AI supercomputer for the Department of Energy.
Big project.
But here's the thing. The contract is not for their Colossus supercomputer.
Huh. That's interesting.
Which I thought was supposed to be like their flagship AI machine.
Right, me too. So that raises a few questions, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, what is the story there? I mean, is Colossus not as good as they were saying it was, or?
Well, maybe Colossus is just designed for very specific AI tasks. And this new system is more of a general-purpose AI machine.
That makes sense.
Or maybe they're just keeping Colossus under wraps for some other top-secret project.
Oh, intrigue. Okay.
We can only speculate, but it definitely makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder. I'm going to have to do some more digging on that one.
Yeah, keep us posted.
But, speaking of supercomputers, you also sent me this article about a tech editor who got to see the world's fastest supercomputer up close and personal.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That must have been amazing.
I know. I'm so jealous. I mean, this thing is called Frontier.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
And it's located at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee.
Nice.
And it can perform over 1 quintillion calculations per second.
That's a lot of calculations.
That's a 1 with 18 zeros after. I can't even fathom that.
It's mind-boggling.
I know. And this tech editor, they got to go into the facility and see this thing and talk to the scientists who are working on it.
So cool.
I know. I would love to have that opportunity someday.
Yeah, that's definitely bucket list material.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little bit more serious now.
Okay.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah.
There was a really concerning survey that came out this week.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one too. What were the findings?
It found that most organizations take days to address critical vulnerabilities.
Days? Really?
Days.
That's a long time.
I know, it's shocking. I mean, that's like leave your front door wide open for cyber criminals.
Yeah, it's like inviting them in for tea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the damage that can be done in just a few hours, let alone a few days.
It's a recipe for disaster.
And, this just highlights how important it is to prioritize security updates and patches.
Absolutely. I'm always nagging my family and friends to update their software.
I do the same thing.
It's so important because, these updates, they often include security patches that fix these vulnerabilities.
Right.
So if you're not updating your devices, you're basically leaving yourself open to attack.
That's a good point. And, this is something that everyone listening can do right now.
Right now, go update your phone, your computer, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it might take a few minutes, but it's worth it for the peace of mind.
Absolutely.
So it's just, take a minute, do it right now.
Do it.
So on a more positive note,
Yeah.
it is encouraging to see that independent professionals are increasingly factoring in sustainability when choosing web hosting.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah, there was a really interesting article about this.
Yeah.
It seems like more and more freelancers and small business owners are looking for web hosting providers that use renewable energy and have environmentally friendly practices.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, people are becoming more aware of the environmental impact of technology,
Right.
and they want to make sure that they're doing their part to reduce their carbon footprint.
Yeah. And it's not just about the environment either. I mean, it's also about supporting companies that align with their values.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
People want to do business with companies that they believe in.
exactly. So it's really great to see this trend emerging.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, for sure.
Okay, so let's take a quick break from all the serious stuff and talk about some entertainment news.
Sounds good. I need a break.
First up, Wheel of Time fans.
Yes.
Season 3 is coming.
I'm so excited for that one.
I know, me too. Amazon just announced that it's going to premiere in September.
That's not too far away.
I know, I can't wait.
Me neither.
But now for the big one.
Okay, hit me.
TikTok might be going dark in the U.S. tomorrow, January 19th.
Wow, things are escalating quickly.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So basically what's happening is
Fill me in.
the U.S. government has been increasingly concerned about TikTok's data security practices.
Okay, I've heard about that.
They're worried that the Chinese government could access user data,
Right.
which TikTok denies. But, there's a lot of suspicion.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
And so the White House has given TikTok until tomorrow to either sell its U.S. operations to an American company
Oh, wow.
or face a nationwide ban.
A ban, that's a big deal.
Huge. I mean, TikTok has over 100 million users in the U.S.
Yeah, it's a massive platform.
So this would be a major disruption to the social media landscape.
For sure. And what are TikTok saying about all this?
Well, they're saying that they're committed to working with the U.S. government to address their concerns, but they're also demanding more clarity and assurance from the government.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they basically want the government to lay out exactly what they need to do to satisfy their security requirements.
Right?
Because they're saying that, they've already taken steps to protect U.S. user data,
Okay.
but they need to know what else the government wants them to do.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. And they're also saying that, they need some kind of assurance that even if they do meet all the government's requirements,
Yeah.
that they won't still be banned anyway.
That makes sense. They need some guarantees.
Exactly. So it's a really tense situation right now.
Yeah, it's a standoff.
And we're all just kind of wait and see what happens tomorrow.
It's going to be a nail biter.
Definitely. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy S25.
Oh, okay. The leaks are getting me excited.
I know there's some really cool new features that are being rumored.
Like what?
Well, one of the biggest ones is the new AI-powered camera.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be able to automatically adjust settings
Oh, wow.
to capture the perfect shot, no matter what the lighting conditions are.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it can also apparently identify different objects and scenes
Oh, wow.
and then optimize the image accordingly.
That sounds amazing, especially for someone like me who's not exactly a photography expert.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm always fiddling around with the settings on my camera, and I never seem to get it quite right.
I feel you.
So this would be a huge time saver.
Absolutely. So AI taking over another task.
Well, it seems that way. And, the S25 is also supposed to have a new AI-powered personal assistant.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more advanced than any other assistant on the market.
So basically like a super Siri or a super Google assistant?
Yeah, something like that. It can apparently learn your habits and preferences
Oh, wow.
and then anticipate your needs.
So like it could remind me to pick up milk on my way home from work if it knows that I usually run out on Wednesdays.
Exactly. Or it could order you a pizza if it knows that you're always too tired to cook on Fridays.
Yeah. Okay, now you're talking my language.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
It is, but it also makes you wonder, how much of our lives are we willing to hand over to AI?
That's a good question.
It's convenient and all, but are we losing some of our autonomy in the process?
Yeah, that's something to think about for sure.
It is?
So speaking of AI, there was another story that caught my eye this week.
Okay, what's that?
A global enterprise survey ranked different factors in terms of their importance to businesses,
Okay.
and AI's energy consumption ranked dead.
Really, last
Place.
like,
Which is kind of concerning, right?
yeah, it is a bit worrying. I mean, we're all talking about the amazing potential of AI, right? But we also need to be mindful of its environmental impact.
Exactly. I mean, training these massive AI models requires a huge amount of energy.
Yeah, tons of processing power.
And if we're not careful, AI could end up contributing to climate change.
That's a sobering thought.
It is. So it's important that we start thinking about ways to make AI more sustainable.
Absolutely. We need to find ways to reduce its energy consumption.
Right. And also maybe explore alternative approaches to AI that are less energy intensive.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so let's end on a more positive note.
Okay, I like positive notes.
There's a lot of buzz around in-wheel motors for electric vehicles.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those.
Yeah, so basically, instead of having one big motor that powers all the wheels,
Right.
each wheel has its own individual motor.
Okay, I see.
And this has a lot of potential benefits.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, it can make electric vehicles more efficient
How so?
because each motor only has to power one wheel.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to waste energy spinning all four wheels all the time.
That makes sense.
And it can also make electric vehicles more powerful
Really?
because each motor can deliver instant torque to its wheel.
Wow, so faster acceleration.
Exactly. And it can also improve handling and stability
Interesting.
because each motor can be independently controlled.
So like more precise control over the vehicle.
Exactly. So there's a lot of potential here.
It sounds very promising.
Yeah, and, this technology could really revolutionize the electric vehicle industry.
Yeah, especially if it can make electric vehicles more affordable.
Right, because that's one of the big barriers to adoption right now.
Yeah, the price tag can be a bit daunting.
So if in-wheel motors can help bring the cost down,
Yeah,
that could really accelerate the transition to electric vehicles.
I'm all for that.
Me too.
Okay.
Okay, so that was a lot of information.
My head is spinning.
I know, right? But hopefully you all found it informative and engaging.
I did.
So just to recap, we talked about faster USBs,
Check.
intrigue in the supercomputer world,
Check.
the potential TikTok ban,
Check.
new AI features in the Samsung Galaxy S25,
Check.
concerns about AI's energy consumption,
Check.
and the exciting potential of in-wheel motors for electric vehicles.
Check.
We covered it all.
We did good work.
So before we sign off, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit me.
If ChatGPT is already being used by over a quarter of teens for homework help, what does this mean for the future of education?
Wow, that's a big one.
It is, right? I mean, is this the beginning of the end of traditional homework, or is it just a new tool that can help students learn more effectively?
I don't know, but it's something that educators are going to have to grapple with.
Absolutely. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
And share it with your friends.
Exactly. Spread the tech love.
Spread the love.
Until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.